Good morning and welcome to our video educational series. My name is Stacy Nelson and my husband Willie Nelson and I are realtors who serve both the Kansas and Missouri clients. We firmly believe in education, and under the new situation, instead of doing our education in person, we're choosing to do a video library featuring some of our referral partners. We truly believe that with education comes knowledge, and with knowledge comes options. And we want our clients to have as many options as possible. So today, we're going to interview Jennifer Walker with St. Mary's Medical Center. Jennifer has I'll let her tell you about her background, a very strong background, and we are excited about all that St. Mary's is doing in the community. So welcome, Jennifer. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm great. How are you?
I am great. So Jennifer, tell us about yourself and about your background.
Well, sure. So I got a little bit of a late start in my nursing career. I went back to school in my 40s and went to nursing school, got my bachelor's of science in nursing, went straight into hospice care. I was an RN case manager for a while, and then I went into something called a clinical liaison role, which really focused on education and assessments. From there, I developed a really strong love and passion for my seniors that I worked with, particularly those who were living with dementia, and seeing a real need to try to understand that disease a little bit better and develop a quality and essence of care that met all of their needs when they're not able to verbalize them quite as much. From that role, I spent about 5 years there, and then I went into long-term care with a company as VP of Market Development. I did that for not quite a year when this opportunity presented itself at St. Mary's. So I'm what's called a Senior Care Services Liaison, and that means I do what I've been doing, which is focus on education, support, and services designed to meet the needs of our seniors from a health perspective.
That's great.
So
that's one of the reasons I think we get along so well, is we both have a heart for education because we know what that provides people. The more they know, the more they can plan ahead and be ready and not act in a crisis. So
exactly, it empowers them to not have all of these decisions made for them.
Right, they get to choose ahead of time. Right. So Tell me, at St. Mary's, under normal situations, now of course with COVID things have changed for education. Tell me what it would have looked like before we got there.
Sure. So I've been with St. Mary's since July. Spent the first part of that time getting to know the hospital, getting to know what the goals and objectives were. And while we are a hospital that sees everybody and takes care of anyone who walks through our doors, we saw a real need to kind of amp up our care for seniors. They have a lot of complexities related to their cares. A lot of them have multiple medical conditions, are on a lot of different medications. Their needs can change, as you know, Stacy, from living independently to having to go into a care community. And so part of what I do internally and what I can keep my focus on during these times internally is that I can look into certifications and accreditations that our hospital could pursue that show our focus and commitment to senior care. For example, we have the Geriatric Emergency Department accreditation, which is a way to measure that we're meeting needs that are directly related to seniors who come in the emergency department. So things like skid-proof floors, adjustable lighting, making sure that the clocks are readable, making sure that they have little comforts from home kit that has reading glasses and earbuds and a legible television guide so they know how to work the TV. So those are things that we do internally, and they can continue to some extent with my planning during this situation. My educational series are the part that I bring to our community and have them come in and bring different topics that are relevant to different issues related to aging. So I currently have 5 series that I run. I have one that's healthy aging. On my healthy aging series, I bring a lot of my community partners into the folds as well and share how they can complement care and have resources that they might need that they didn't even know that they needed, or they didn't even know was out there. So I want to be a conduit for them to be connected to things that can make aging a little bit better and a little bit more healthy. And then I have a series called Dementia 101. That's probably my most requested series right now. As people are aging and developing dementia, a lot of times caregivers don't really have a lot of resources to turn to that helps them understand the disease. So that particular series focuses on understanding the disease itself. I do also have a caregiver series that focuses on making sure you're taking care of you so you can take care of other people. I have a senior nutrition series. It doesn't just focus on what we eat, it also focuses on things like medication interactions, foods and drinks to avoid, different medications that might not play well together, oral hygiene in general. It's all about the nutritional needs and why hydration is important and all kinds of things. And then my last series is for caring for aging parents. And so that demographic is for anybody that is experiencing the complexities of care related to having to advocate and make decisions on behalf of your parents, how to do that without crossing the boundaries of parent-child, respecting their dignity and things like that. And so this epidemic obviously has put a halt to those in-person sessions, but I am looking at some ways to bring some of those topics to video similar to what you're doing. So I'm looking into that. There's one series next week I really want to do that on Healthcare Decision Day.
I think we're all finding new ways. We still want to offer the education, but and people need it still. So it's been interesting. It's been good for us to think outside the box a bit and all figure out what we can do to keep things moving. So
absolutely.
Good for the challenge. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, so tell me, if once things are back open and going again, if someone wanted to go to these classes, how do they find you? Where are they held? How does all that work?
Sure. So anytime somebody wants more information, they can always feel free to call me. And my number is area code 816-655-5625. And they can call and ask me about any series that I offer or when they are. We also post them on our website under events. So it's www.stmaryskc.com. And then you go under the events tab and it will list them there. Of course, April is currently canceled, but hopefully we'll be able to resume in May. I haven't gotten the word on that yet. So they can obviously contact me there as well. And we also do have social media presence, so you can always pose a query that way as well.
So great. So probably on your website would be some of this information already from past things, right? They would be able to find helpful information on that website, the stmaryskc.com. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay. What are some other things maybe you want to share with the audience about St. Mary's in general? I mean,
Sure.
Not every hospital is certified as a geriatric hospital. Is that correct?
That's correct. There aren't a ton of accreditations that are out there to pursue, but we're investigating the different ones that do exist. And so we do, like I said, have that geriatric emergency department accreditation, and looking into ways to even advance the ranking on that too. So we're always striving to see what else can we be doing to meet the needs. It doesn't happen overnight. There's a lot that goes into planning and bringing new programs and services on board. But I think the important thing is that they're being investigated, they're being looked into. We're asking the community what are their needs. So I'm very involved usually externally in the community. So I do a lot of public speaking at churches, at other senior related groups. I go to the senior centers and do presentations quite a bit as well. So anywhere there's a senior and they want a health topic, I'm available to do that and help them understand that the hospital doesn't have to just be a place you go to when you're not feeling well. It can also be a place you go to get information to stay well and stay as healthy as possible, so that we can focus on the really acute cases that come in the door.
hmm So if someone has a senior group and they feel a need to host a class or seminar or something, they would call you at that number and maybe you could set up. Is there a cost for this for you to come do these classes?
I don't charge for that. Information is free. I likely wasn't charged a lot to get the information in the first place, so so I'm happy to pass on anything that we can do for our seniors to help keep them healthy and thriving at whatever stage that they're living at. So I want to make sure that we're meeting those needs for them. Yes, so all they would have to do is call me, let me know what their event is, what the size of the event is, the target audience. If there's any key topics they would like me to cover, I will then, if I don't already have a presentation for that, I will ask for a little lead time to develop one. I want to make sure I'm giving them an evidence-based program that's filled with good resources for them. And then I'll ask them, do you want PowerPoint? Do you just want a conversation style? And we'll just adapt it to whatever their needs are. And I love talking, so I usually don't have any problem filling any time slot available.
That is great. That is so helpful. And I think even St. Mary's, for those, Jennifer and I met through our Jackson County Professionals in Aging, and that's hosted at St. Mary's Hospital. So great resource for people working with seniors. It's the first Tuesday of the month. We meet for networking and a guest speaker, and St. Mary's is kind enough to let us use their education room, and we certainly appreciate that. So
well, we appreciate having everybody and getting to network. It takes a village, and we don't all have all the pieces to the puzzle of aging. We all have a very important piece. So we come together, and then that puzzle is complete, and we can bring our services to everybody else. I mean, I can't tell you how beneficial that group has been for me personally as well as professionally, getting to know what else is out there. So absolutely important work that I'm glad to have met you through.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been fun. Yeah. It's nice to see like-minded people who want to serve seniors. As we serve seniors in the real estate industry, helping them right size, it's nice to have other people that we can lean on, to find those resources as we need to help our client as well. So again, absolutely. I really appreciate, is there anything else that you want to say?
Well, certainly there's been a lot of changes we've all had to adapt to and do things. I'm very, very hopeful that we can get back into the swing of things. I don't have the final say-so on this, but there's a couple of important events that are coming up. The date will still be determined. I had a senior scam symposium planned for May the 15th. That was going to involve some people from the Department of Health and Human Services from Columbia coming out and speaking, and they're feeling like even if our social distancing ban was lifted in April, that might be a little too soon to have a large gathering. So we are looking at the possibility of pushing that back to June. That might be June the 12th when we do that. The other really big event that we are hoping still continues is going to be on July the 17th. And it's actually the one event that's going to be hosted off campus. It will be at the Kansas City Public Library Plaza location. And we're bringing world-renowned dementia expert Teepa Snow to town. And we have an all-day free educational workshop, perfect and ideal for caregivers or people who work with seniors who don't understand dementia, to come out and get a working knowledge of dementia. So we're really excited. We're hoping that that continues on. We're planning as if it is. We'll have the official registration link to that available on June the 3rd. But if they want to call me and ask me more questions about that, they certainly can still do that too.
That's great. That's great. Well, and I know you and I were going to do a class in April about right size.
I know.
And so hopefully we'll get to do that again. There's so many things that people don't realize they could already be doing, helpful tips that we can help as people want to right size to a home that's a good fit for them. So
yes,
we'll get it all back going, and it's exciting. At least be able to do videos in the meanwhile. But thank you, Jennifer. Again, I have to say, I'm
Thank
Stacy
you.
Nelson. I'm with Keller Williams Platinum Partners. We own Midwest Heritage Homes, but I'm just so thankful that you were able to share your expertise with us today. So,
Well, thanks for asking me. I really appreciate it.
all righty. Well, have a great day and thank you.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.